being a part of EXP, Adam, there are a lot more independent estate agents out there in every single market. And I get the feeling that's just going to continue to increase. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think the rise of, I like to call it the personal agent.
Okay, personal agent, yeah. You can call it what you fucking like. It's more, there's more of them, right?
We can swear on it then, can
we? We can swear, we can do what we like.
And I think, the word terminology, self-employed, I think that I call it the rise of personal agent. Whether that's employed or not, I think the personal brand is a huge part of where we're seeing things go. Like sometimes, the best agent hasn't got the market share, and sometimes the best agent for you or me or you might be different. But depending on what you want in your agent, isn't it? So I think looking at the rise of new companies underneath a bigger umbrella, yes.
Because it used to be, didn't it? It used to be the company brand, right? So if a client was looking to figure out who can I go to, they would put estate agents in St. Neots, for argument's sake, and you'll get a load of company brands come up. Now, if they were to look on their socials or they were to look into the marketplace, do the Google search, ChatGPT, whichever way they go and search for agents, there are so many people out there. There's so many agents out there. And what you're saying, Colby, I'm hearing is you will give that client the best performers in their market and direct people towards those agents.
And I suppose, Colby, sorry to interject, like in Australia and America, Canada, the individual agent they're on the leaderboard, aren't they? They have a open access. So, they have like an MLS. So I could see what Matt Giggs has done, how many houses he sold his whole career, what he did last year, what fees he earned. So that helps them show social proof to their target client base. So I suppose you're doing it for brands at the moment, but do you see... Sorry to ask a question, Matt.
No, go for it.
Do you see that changing over time, but catching up with the US?
Well, I guess there's a few things there. So first of all, you mentioned that people now see tons of options, and they definitely see more options because EXP has grown a lot, and kind of the agency UK is growing and stuff. But I still think it feels more, the growth is bigger to us in the industry than it is to the average punter on the street. They're not seeing that all of a sudden their options when they go on Google have multiplied massively. I think that's kind of, we're in the echo chamber a little bit, to be honest. GetAgent shows the best agents regardless of whether they're large corporates or locals, and indeed with EXP, even though we don't work with EXP, if EXP are selling the most properties in the area, or not, it's not just about the volume, but if they're selling at the highest percentage of asking price or selling quickest, that would still show up on GetAgent's recommendations. But you're right, Adam, apart from where some parts of EXP are split down into individual agents. So I think you've got your own agency powered by EXP. As far as GetAgent's concerned, we capture what that business is doing. There's kind of Footprint, which is similar. There's Benjamin Stevens, which is similar. So we'll show them individually. In answer to your question, kind of where someone has their existing track record that they take into their self-employed journey, there is obviously a question about, is that person's prior success or failure because of them or the business they were a part of? Right, a lot of people will leave a business because they don't think the business is doing very well, and they might think that they could do better by themselves. So just in the same way that person shouldn't carry some of the bad performance of the business they're associated with, they shouldn't necessarily take the good performance as well. And I'm sure, Matt, you've been doing this for a long time. You've probably lost people from your business who thought, I can do this better, and actually it's a different thing. But yeah, maybe you're right. Like if this continues, then of course I think people should be able to take some of that credibility from one brand to the next. For sure. Exactly how that happens, exactly what you can allocate to the person versus the brand, difficult to split out. A lot
needs to change till that happens, doesn't it? Because at the moment we've got less than 10%, less than 5%, I believe, are self-employed or personal agents. So if that goes to 95% at some point, those that you'll pass the test no matter what brokerage you're under. That's how it works in America, isn't it?
Do you think that will happen? Do you think that's the route?
That's a big switch, isn't it? But there's going to be.
But do you think 50%? Like,
I personally, I think I asked a question to Matt on another podcast, and I see a future where it could go to 50%. And you're not creating new jobs; you're just moving people from getting paid in this way to another way, and having a little bit more freedom.